The Historic Festival and Doors Open event draws attention to regional history through tours and speakers sessions.
Well, there's so many topics when it comes to, regional history here. You have to really pick and choose, I think, what you're going to deal with from year to year. Is that true? Or?
That's very true. And we try to pick a theme for every year. And this year we're celebrating our cities, which is the story of the merger of the two cities and the centennial of that, and also the centennial of the building of the legislature and the centennial of a lot of communities like the Highlands, for instance.
The Prince of Wales Armories is a central venue this week, home to Edmonton Archives.
This is the place to go, yeah. We're kind of Edmonton's memory bank here. We've got about 500,000 photos. We've got about 6 or 7 kilometers worth of documents, maybe close to 1 million blueprints. And we've got a whole bunch of stuff available online as well if you want to go to our website.
The Armories building is also home to the Edmonton Telephone Museum.
In 1895, Alec Taylor brought 2 telephones into Edmonton, and the telephone had only been patented about 10 years before that, really. And he brought 2 telephones in from England and hooked up one in Edmonton and one in St. Albert. The city of Edmonton eventually bought his telephone company from him.
Edmonton began to boom 100 years ago.
1912 was a very major boom in the city where there was buildings popping up all over the place for a couple of years. And if you walk down Jasper Ave and along White Ave, you see a lot of those 1910, 1911, 1912 markers on the buildings. And then the following year was the beginning of World War I and those kinds of things. And everything just died right down and fairly led up to the Great Depression.
Edmonton's connection to World Wars I and II is displayed at the Prince of Wales Armories too.
They can see the equipment that we used in the Second World War, and then the other gallery, it's the First World War, or the last 100 days of the First World War. But here you can see right up to the modern day equipment that they are using now. One of the largest airports here in Edmonton, and a lot of equipment was flown out of here, and equipment and people.
Yes, and there was manufacturing of airplanes.
Oh, yes, manufacturing and maintenance. Without Edmonton being a hub, if you will, it would have probably been a lot harder for us to have won the war.
So check out the Armories any time of year. As for History Week,
this coming weekend, Saturday and Sunday, we're hosting what's called Speaker Studio, and there's 6 different topics about history and heritage and architectural heritage and even modern architecture.
And I'll be talking about designated heritage buildings. And of course, the Prince of Wales Armories is one of the designated heritage buildings. It's designated provincially and municipally. So I'll talk about the history of the building on Sunday.
Tim Dancy, Shaw TV Edmonton.
North of it.